New video of Michael Saylor talking about basically a $25 million Bitcoin. I know right off the bat, a lot of people are just going to be like, you're just crazy. What are you doing? Unsubscribe. And that's fine. But I just want to say as I start this video, and we're going to have a nice analysis of crypto markets right now. We're actually going to look at some updated US dollar data, gold data. The gold chart is such a good kind of leading indicator for crypto markets. We're going to talk about all of these things, but I want to start the video just by saying, you know, this is a chart that I charted back in 2018, December 2018, and the bottom of the bear market, Bitcoin like around $4,000. One thing I'm not going to do is kind of diverge away from this mindset. The same mindset I had in 2018 is the same one that I have now. And basically that is a zoomed out macro mindset on the space and how far we've come from around $4,000 Bitcoin through a bull market, another bear market, and now we're in this new territory. It's kind of a new framework for a bull market and a bull cycle. We are on pace. We are on track, and I've never been more excited about this space. So I'm not going to apologize for my bullish macro mindset, but I do want to do a better job of doing that, zooming out on markets and zooming out on the story here because it really is that big. So hit the subscribe. Hit the like on the way in. Your support means a ton to me. And let's kind of try and dissect all of these things. Before we do analysis on the charts, gold, Bitcoin, and also altcoin charts, just look at this altcoin chart. I have it nice and zoomed out on the daily to try and paint a little bit of a picture. Is this a space that you really just want to not have exposure to? It's been volatile over the years, especially when you start zooming in. It gets very noisy. The motion gets very cloudy. But you zoom out, this space is headed somewhere. This is $1 trillion market cap. This is excluding Bitcoin. If tens of trillions of dollars are pouring into the space, where do you think this chart is going on the long term? We are in an incredible time right now. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Let's start with this clip of Saylor, real briefly.
It's going to go from 2 billion to 20 billion to 200 billion to 2 trillion to 20 trillion to 200 trillion. And when it gets to 200 trillion, it'll chop along at plus 20% to eventually 300, 400, 500 trillion dollars. And where is that capital going to come from?
So he's basically talking about, in terms of market cap, 500 trillion, but in terms of the price of Bitcoin at that market cap, $25 million Bitcoin. And I just posted, even if Bitcoin achieves 10% of that, he's talking about a $2.5 million Bitcoin. And I just said, I'm not zoomed out enough on this space. And that's somebody that's always zooming out. Most of my videos, especially lately, are really just talking about zoomed out, what is happening right now. Think of Cardano and other altcoins too, by the way, everybody. But think of Cardano's narrative right now, and specifically use case. One of them will be the chain to securely unlock Bitcoin DeFi. If Bitcoin is at $2.5 million Bitcoin one day, what do you think a chain like Cardano could be at? And so this is that zoomed out perspective that I'm talking about. And I think as we're going to dissect kind of short, midterm price action and kind of get a sense of direction, I think it's valuable to do that, right? Throughout these cycles and bear markets and bull markets, wherever we are. But I just want to lay the groundwork by just saying, I just don't think I am zoomed out enough. If it heads in this direction, what Saylor is saying right here, do you realize what a chart like this would be doing? The total crypto market cap chart excluding Bitcoin. I have May 2017 over here because we're going to look at something in terms of the US dollar data, and we're going to try and get a very nice, clear roadmap of the short to midterm. Before I do, I just want to give a quick shout out to Coinledger, the sponsor of today's video. We're literally days away from April. It's tax time. I'm sure many of you use Coinledger. If you don't, be one of, 500,000 crypto investors that are using Coinledger to get their taxes done right. They have this little video on here. It's clicking buttons and then getting your report generated. And it's incredible to see all of the transactions over the last year that you might have done that you just don't even remember. And you can see this gives a good snapshot kind of what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You get your API key from Coinbase very simply, you hook it in, and then boom, it's just pulling in all of your data, all of your transactions, and you can kind of see it there on the screen. The other thing I wanted to mention is we talk about doing taxes, doing them right in terms of crypto. This will allow you to get not only a high level overview and see what's going on, but also you could save some money by actually tracking what it's saying here, your crypto losses. You might have some crypto losses in there throughout the last year, and you can basically, as it says, writing off crypto losses can help you save thousands. So it's not only just doing crypto taxes right, but it could really benefit you. So hit the link below, sign up with Coinledger, and thank you, Coinledger, for sponsoring the video. US dollar update. We've been tracking it. If you've been watching my YouTube channel, you know we've been really watching it specifically since kind of like up here. Trump came into office in January 20th, and we've been just really dissecting the possibility of, hey, are we going to get a move down similar to this fractal that you see in yellow, similar to Trump's last term? Trump's playbook is very clear. It's clear as day. He came into office, even before coming into office, he made it known. And it's very similar to his first administration 2 cycles ago. And now we're starting to see this fractal start playing out. And what I wanted to note was this in terms of the dollar. And then we're going to look at gold, because the gold chart could really be signaling an actual nice short to midterm move for crypto. I'm going to explain why. But if we look at this right now, I have the bull breakout 2017 right here. May 2017, basically the dollar really starts falling. And what I really want to point your attention to from an analysis perspective is look at the 20-day in green falling below the 200, the 50 in blue falling below the 200 in red, right? So this move that's happening right there, right around May 2017, if we go and we look at the chart right now, and this is what we'll have to monitor on the US dollar chart, check this out. The 20 just crossed below the 200. We have the 50 heading towards the 200-day moving average. We're kind of setting up that May 2017 move. So if we go to altcoin charts, this is where altcoins were in May 2017. They were just getting ready to really go parabolic. They were already actually seeing some gains, right? This is a daily chart. So you see April, right? March, April, some nice gains, kind of just sideways right here, sideways right here. We could be in a very similar environment right now. It is March going into April, and we're kind of just, if we go to the chart, it's like, man, we're down and just, we're hobbling around. And I think in people's minds, because we are zoomed in on short-term headlines, everybody, very short-term headlines, we're not zoomed out enough. People are just thinking I think generally without having visualization of the chart, people are just like, man, it's over for crypto. Like it's such a negative outlook on crypto markets right now. But really, if you zoom out on a daily chart like this, maybe this chart does go down further, right? And maybe we have to find a bottom somewhere. But like on the zoomed out with the story that's playing out in crypto right now, $1 trillion market cap excluding Bitcoin, it's an incredible starting point in an environment where tens of trillions likely to be entering the space in the years ahead. So right now for me, it's all about macro positioning. It's all about macro preparation. With that being said, if we kind of try and start zooming in just a little bit more, get kind of that short-term roadmap on what's going on. If this dollar keeps falling, right, and we have the end of QT or slowing down of QT in April, the tariff headlines are behind us, it gets worked out. I mean, even right now, there's some negotiations. I just saw in the Discord, if I can bring this up real briefly. This is our Discord. You can see European Union plans to do trade concessions to avoid Trump's reciprocal tariffs. Folks, remember what Trump said. It'll be a little bumpy, but it'll be great, way better in the long run. And that's kind of what is playing out right now. So when the bumpy ride is over and QT slows down, and then we have Fed net liquidity starts kind of increasing on these charts, and here's that green line. When it starts pumping to the upside, we might get a very nice pump. Now, one chart that can help us kind of navigate through that would be the gold chart. And here's where things become very interesting. Gold has been pumping, as you know, right now, all-time high area, just almost $3,100. Look at this. Even on the shorter term, this kind of top out area back in October to November, gold starts falling on the daily. Do you know what that was for Bitcoin? That was Bitcoin's breakout moment. And this is exactly what I'm saying. So October to November to December, gold falling here, Bitcoin pumping, crypto going crazy. Even if you remember altcoins, right? If we look at an altcoin chart, that's in basically that red box, that's gold falling. This was altcoins going crazy. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's not just that move there. This is it's starting to seem like a cyclical thing. So last cycle, right before the bull market started, if we go on the gold chart, November 2020 was when the bull market doors were broken on Bitcoin, when things really got exciting for crypto and Bitcoin. Look what gold was doing. It had topped out and it's falling. So the reason I'm bringing it up is because, maybe gold does continue higher, but we should pay attention, even on the short term, to things like bearish divergence happening on the gold chart. So lower low on the RSI, we're getting a higher high on the price of gold. And this kind of setup happened right back here. Look at this, right? Lower high, and then back here, lower high. And then what happened? Higher high price, and then it fell. If this move sets up, we might start seeing gold start falling and Bitcoin all of a sudden, out of nowhere in April, crypto out of nowhere in April could start pumping. And this could be some short-term hopium, right? It's not a guarantee. I think it's just something to be aware of that could happen. It just happened not very long ago in November 2024. This was months ago. So it's something that can happen. Again, I'm sorry about my phone. And if it does happen, it's something to prepare for, because the altcoin chart, as you see, absolutely exploded to the upside. So altcoins, I think, would perform very well. If not, there's always the short-term kind of consolidation that is in play. And if you go look at a Bitcoin chart, you know what I mean? Like, this could totally be just a revisit of the neckline, that macro neckline area, the mid 70s. We could fall lower, have to test all this consolidation area, and maybe into the 60s for Bitcoin to try and find its higher low. But either way, everybody, it's kind of like what I was doing in 2018 is what I want to continue doing. It's just zoom out on the chart. That's the chart back then. This is how it's really played out since then, right? If you look at the chart, here's when I basically charted that somewhere back here. It's played out very well. Just look at the zoomed out chart. I'm just looking at this and I'm just like, man, maybe we do fall lower. I don't know what it's going to look like on the short term. But the trend seems very clear to me. And what's happening in this space, what is being unlocked in this space, and even now the United States of America kind of leading the way in terms of innovation in this space, it is such a great opportunity. And I'm not going to diverge away from that way of thinking. So these are my thoughts today. It's choppy price action, but I wanted to kind of try and zoom out and also sprinkle in some just data from the US dollar and gold and all that good stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you cruising through. See you in the next video. God bless.